Back to Tip Top Auto Shop. Today we're going to be servicing this nice mommy rocket here, which is a 2006 Honda Odyssey. Really nice, comes with a 3.5 engine, plenty of horsepower to get the students or kids from point A to point B. So anyways, what we're going to do is we're going to walk around the vehicle and kind of just do a glance at it, make sure there's no obvious damage to it, so that way nobody can accuse you of doing anything. That's what you always want to do. Just do a quick walk around, make sure that you don't see anything out of place. This car is looking pretty good. So we're going to go into the interior of this vehicle. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to point out a couple of things. We're going to go right here to the key. I'm going to turn this on. And so a couple of things right here. We're going to look at our gauges. There's all kinds of lights on here. And we're going to look at, I'm going to shut this off again, turn this back on. All kinds of alarms and everything. But the main alarm that we're looking at is we're looking at this check engine light, and we're looking at the little service engine light. So I'm going to go ahead and start this up. Now the check engine light goes out, which lets us know the emission warranty information, and the only thing left is the wrench. Now if you take a look at the oil life, it says there's 15% and there's an A at 125, and that lets us know that it's ready for maintenance, and that's the scheduled service. So we're going to look at it. Right now we're looking at 160,000 miles on this vehicle. So typically we'll follow a 10,000 mile maintenance, or we'll go back to the 150,000 mile just for this demonstration purpose. So we're going to go ahead and shut this off, and then we're going to go ahead over here. Now basically I've got some paperwork here. Basically I have a couple of sheets of paper here. First of all, this is a Honda maintenance check, and you can go around and you can see that we walked around the exterior of the body and we looked at everything, and we can go ahead and put our initial right next to that, as I'm going to put a JA in there, and we're going to look up exterior of the body. Now we're going to go ahead and look at the windshield and the glass. We're going to kind of look for any kind of pits or any kind of cracks, because any kind of pits or stuff like that will let us know that if there's a little small crack, we can go ahead and put a sealant in there and protect the window from spreading any further, especially in these hot temperatures that we've been having. No cracks or chips in the windshield, so we're going to go ahead and just kind of glance around the rest of the glass and kind of look at it and make sure there's no deficiencies in any of the other glass. And then everything's looking pretty good. Our next item on the check is a windshield wipers. So windshield wipers, this back one here, you want to run your fingers right across it and feel for dryness. Now this one feels a little dry rotted, so that's due to the elements from outside. It feels kind of rough. It's not torn or anything. It feels just a little rough. We're going to recommend that a rear wiper blade be replaced. I'm going to go ahead and check out the front now, and I'm also looking at the glass, making sure that the glass is okay. And same thing. Now this feels pretty smooth, so I want to inspect it, make sure that it looks pretty good. Yeah, I don't see anything wrong with that windshield wiper. That looks good. I'm going to go ahead and check the other one. We're looking for cuts and tears and abrasions. Now we know it's still the dry season, but the rain season's coming pretty soon. But this one looks pretty good. So the rear wiper blade looks like it needs replacing. So over here in comment section, I'm going to go ahead and write down rear wiper blade, and I'll come back and address that with a customer later. Wiper blade. You can just tell them, hey, it looks like it's good. But I'm going to check off over here. So right now we got exterior body, windshield's good, Wipers are good. Now we're going to go ahead and look at our lights. I'm going to go ahead and, usually if you have a mirror in the shop, you can check this coming in. I'm going to go ahead and turn the lights on, and then I'm going to activate the full-ways, and that's going to kind of give me a little bit of a rundown. So what I'm going to do is look at the turn signals. I'm going to look here at the, this lens could be, it's a little fogged up. There's some cleaner that we can use to clean that with for the customer. It gives it more of a clear, we're looking at lights right now. You can almost upsell that to the customer too. It takes about an hour to clean the lens, but we're going to go ahead. Now there's a little bit of sunlight here, so we want to make sure that we're looking into we can see the lights through the thing. It looks good. We got a 4-way flasher. Now what I will notice is, I don't know if you guys see this, but this is a clear light blinking on this side right here. This customer has the wrong bulb in here, and it should be this yellow bulb. You see this right here? So we're going to write down that they need to replace that with the correct bulb. So we're going to write down right rear. So we're going to go lights in here, and we're going to right rear. Rear bulb needs a replace. Okay, so other than that, our blinkers, our brake lights, we're going to go ahead and you can put a little, turn the lights off. We're going to hit our high beam, and you can see from the shadows on the wall that the high beams are working. And we're going to go ahead and shut this off, and then turn the lights off. So what we could do is get ourselves a little stick. I use this little handle, and I'll put this maybe here on the brake, and we'll just run the front seat a little bit into the, there we go. And then that gives us a little, we can run back here and then check our brake lights. Now, you can see this little light right here. That's, you want to make sure your third brake light's working. And that looks like it is. So our brake lights are good. Brake lights are good. Everything's good. So we'll take this back off. So we pretty much this back over here. So we got our brake lights and everything done. And also, I forgot to tell you, when you go to work on a customer's car, always crack the window, or make sure you talk with the customer and say, you can crack the window. That way, if you leave the keys in the ignition and you lock the car door, you're not calling the customer asking them for a spare set. So just a little trip. So we're gonna check off on the lights. Our lights are good. Interior lights. We're gonna check the interior lights. Pretty much open up the door and turn lights on and off. We'll go through all the lights and all the lights out. Everything looks pretty good. So the other thing is, we're going to check the AC operation. Typically, got to make sure that the AC is working good. Check all the vents. Run it through all of the speeds. Make sure your fans are working. Everything's good. The general rule of thumb is that air conditioning systems typically will operate at least 30 degrees cooler from the ambient air temperature outside. So if it's 100 degrees outside, then basically it should be close to 75 degrees inside. So you want to check that. Now there's a couple of ways to check it. You can put a thermostat inside the register. So I'm going to go ahead and stick this down in here. We're going to see how well the AC system's working. I'm going to go ahead and put this on, and we're going to go ahead and pump that up a little bit. Now, to test the air conditioning system, typically you want to have it where it's on low speed. Basically, we'll put this on low speed, and put it on auto here. And I like to share with the customer too is that, hey, I actually tested it, and so I'll write down the temperature right now outside is about 100 degrees. So I'll put what I put in the AC operation, 100 degrees, and I'll put about 68 degrees. So ambient. I just put an ambient and then interior, so that they know what the heating can. You want to go ahead and check your heater out, so you can go ahead and go run up to the heater, make sure the heater's working. You got to make sure winter's coming, so you want to make sure. Same thing, if you're going to run this, it's getting warm already, so everything's looking good. No sense running. I'm going to return the setting back to where the customer had it, because you want make sure that the customer, their controls and everything is exactly the way they went. So everything's good. So if you had something else that you wanted to write in here, another system that maybe the customer had, maybe an entertainment system you wanted to check out, you could write it in there. So all right, so that takes care of that. So we're going to work off of 2 inspection reports. I got the whole Honda we're going to go off brake lessons, which I have here, and then also we're going to do a recommended mileage service. So we're now going to go under the hood, and we're going to start looking at a few things under the hood before we get into the oil change and everything. So we're just going to run through a few things on under the hood. So basically this is the exterior and interior of the vehicle. Now we're going to go to under the hood. So some of these checks you can actually do while you're driving the vehicle into your stall or driving it into your work area. You don't have to get back and forth and stuff, but as long as you have a system, you can follow. Now, what I want to point out, that there's a green, a yellow, and a red, just like traffic signals, so red means, hey, stop, and yellow is kind of like, hey, it may need some attention, and green is definitely go. So